Renee with Green Star Marketing here at the very first Viirtue Connect here in sunny St. Petersburg, Florida. It is an honor and a privilege to introduce to you my next guest, Michael Nelson, who is partner at TurnDial. Michael, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I have to tell you before I get into this, I love the name of your company, TurnDial, because I'm old enough to remember when I had to turn the dial to call people.
Yeah.
Is that where you got the name?
So, to a degree. So we kind of looked at the nostalgicness of
Yes.
having the phone system kind of tie in. But we also just started 3 years ago. So we came from a much larger firm and we were turning the dial. Like turning, it was our turn. And,
Yeah.
and so we tried to have, play on words.
Play on words, and
Yep.
it was successful.
Successful, yeah.
Awesome. Well, obviously this is all of our very first Viirtue Connect.
Yep.
How's the show going for you so far?
It's fantastic. Just the fact that, I've been to a number of these, it's a little bit more intimate. The fact that we were able to meet a lot of people, shake hands, really have better conversations instead of kind of getting lost in the sauce.
I like that.
Thank you, thank you. So, even meeting we're putting faces to the names from the Viirtue team. A lot of these people, we never really had the opportunity to meet them in person. So I work with Sean and Dan. Dan's luckily kind of from that greater Philadelphia area, so he comes up, takes us to some games every now and then. But meeting the rest of the team is kind of paramount, especially I brought my chief technology officer.
Okay.
And this is his first type of conference, so he's kind of geeking out a little bit. He's loving it. So
A lot of material here to geek out on.
A lot of material to geek out on, yeah. So we're proud that we're able to kind of partner with Viirtue and that they're able to hold an event like this.
Okay. Now, prior to Viirtue, did you have a voice solution, or was this the first time that you went down that road?
No, that we did have another kind of white label solution.
Okay.
And
what made you want to change?
It was kind of stagnant, the solution that we were using. They've been around for a while. We were comfortable.
Okay.
We kind of, took the easy route right out of the gate because, when we get going, go with the people we know.
Sure.
Easy deployment. But we started running into obstacles.
Okay.
And that was a big thing that, the feature requests or lack of functionality, even some of the stability, they had some outages itself.
Okay.
So being able to leverage some of these new tools, we call this our Cadillac of sorts, really helped kind of drive us forward. And, we've only been in business for 3 years now. So we had our foot on the gas pedal the whole time.
You have.
And we didn't really want to take it off. And we had some really nice opportunities that, without Viirtue, in our corner, we wouldn't have been able to win. So.
Awesome. Did you do some acquisitions or?
Not yet. So we're kicking around some acquisitions now, but just some of these larger, kind of going more up market, even though we're relatively small.
1,000 seat up.
Correct. Yeah, and leveraging some of the things that our other provider could not handle, the Viirtue could, and even some of their support team kind of doing some almost customization that's not normal, but they're able to kind of jump through some hoops, make some changes because we both wanted the client, on board. So, they've been, it's been paramount for our business to really kind of partner with these guys.
It sounds like you guys are definitely on the same wavelength.
We are. Yeah.
With that upward
Onward,
future
upward.
trajectory, as Dan was talking about.
Yep.
The keynote. When you made the change over here to Viirtue 3 years ago, did you look at other white label providers in the vetting process, or did you just know you were coming here?
No, we did. My wife always criticizes me because when I go to buy anything, I have a long process. She said, just go out there, go get it.
You sound like my best friend Carolyn.
So we looked at a bunch. I mean, I knew from my previous company that we left, we had 3 different flavors there. So I had some experience and kind of went out into the channel and just said, hey, who's out there? And even went to NetSapiens Direct. And said, okay, well, do we just sign with them?
Right, buy your own.
And that wasn't necessarily the route. And we said, okay, if we go this route, who do you recommend? And Viirtue was on that list. NetSapiens said, here's the 2 or 3 guys that are the best in the business at NetSapiens. So we kind of looked at all 3 of them, did the whole song and dance, but we kind of got the warm and fuzzies from Viirtue. It just seemed,
that's why you made the switch.
That's why we made the switch, and we worked with Shauna, and she brought Dan on the call, and
Shauna's great.
Shauna's great. Shauna's great. She's a hunter. I mean, she chased us down. She's like, "You're signing. You're going to jump on with us." And honestly, still to this date, everything that they promised, they've exceeded and then some. So even with simple things, that we needed just some clarification on getting on board,
right.
I would use her as a resource, and she was able to kind of get answers really quickly for us. So we just weren't accustomed to with some of the other platforms that we were using. So
they're hustling.
They're hustling, and we love the grind, and we see that we're, like you said, same wavelengths. We're kind of growing together, so it's great.
I love it. Oh, this is exciting. I know that they're thrilled to have you guys here.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about TurnDial.
Sure.
What is your secret sauce? Because I'm sure there's a lot of competitors, that you've come up against.
There's a lot, especially we're right outside of greater Philadelphia area, and it is just a saturated market, where we're at. So we kind of grew up with, a previous company that we left, and they had a great kind of org to them. People were drawn in, they took care of their clients, and then we kind of adopted a lot of that and said, okay, here's some of the pitfalls. So, we're very, I think a lot of people say this, but we're very customer-centric. We call it bring the love back. We're all together. We grow together. Mm-hmm. So, we really kind of tout that we'll go above and beyond the customizations, the due diligence, and kind of jumping through the hurdles that most people necessarily won't. And we value their business. A lot of the things that we do is we deal with a lot of law firms, and we end up having good connections and tying some of the law firms in with other law firms, or just kind of helping them grow their business outside of just the phone side.
And do you have integrations that you put in? I think there's specialty stuff with
there
the
is.
legal realm.
So there's a number of different kind of call counting type of softwares, or even integrations in. They like to bill for their time matters, and all these different legal kind of integrations. So we do tie in. Hey, what do you guys use? And we take our time. We don't kind of rush these installs in, and we make sure that we understand the client fully, just so again we can add those customizations based off their wants and needs.
And do you have a pretty in-depth onboarding process to make sure they're set up to run with it when you're done?
We do. So we send people out weeks in advance, get acclimated to the sites, really learn about that client. I have a learning process, or my business partner Christian has a learning process. So we sit down, we vet it, and we make sure that we're not only a good fit for them, but they're a good fit for us.
It has to go both ways.
It has to, because just because a customer could be large, or it's attractive from a revenue standpoint, there's bad customers, and sometimes you need to walk away.
I just heard a conversation in the back of this room yesterday. I'm not going to say who, but they did an in-depth, deep dive analysis of things.
Yeah.
And one of their largest accounts, turns out they were paying $500 a month to have the privilege of working with this customer who bills a big amount every month. But when they figured it out, how much time they're spending on them, so you do need to do your due diligence on the front end.
Yeah.
Okay. So you play in the legal market. Do you have any other verticals that you excel in? Or are you pretty much anybody who needs?
Yeah, we're agnostic to a degree.
Okay.
We found some sweet spots in legal, automotive, some medical as well, but a lot of times, and nonprofits. I mean, for some reason, we ended up getting tied into a lot of these nonprofit call centers, especially domestic violence. I never knew how involved it was, but all the different counties throughout our area all have their own domestic violence center, and it's critical. If somebody calls in need, there can't be any downtime. There can't be any missed calls, enabling them.
It could be life or death. Literally.
Absolutely. So it's great because not only are we able to help them, but we do a lot to give back. So that's kind of my pride and joy. I love working with nonprofits. And doing, we go out there for the turkey drives and the Christmas, almost like we're the toy for tots. It just gives me an excuse to dress up as Santa and kind of walk through.
I love it.
So my business partner is more on the reserve side, so I'm more of the boisterous of the sorts.
You're having the fun.
Yeah. So it's great because my goal is, we're in this community. Instead of just selling services, we try and give back, and that gives us the warm and fuzzies. And
that's part of your secret sauce.
Exactly. And shows my kids too. So I have 4 kids, and shows them, and I bring them out to these things. And they're like, "Dad, do we have to go?" I'm like, "Absolutely, yeah, absolutely have to go." And then they love it. They're like, "This is
of
great.
course
This
they
is
do.
Great." Yeah, but they're teenagers. I got a couple teenagers, so they're always fighting back. So.
I understand. I was one myself. So do you focus your business in that general Philly area, or do you go all over the country, or what's your service range?
We do go all over the country, but it's mostly for clients that have multi-sites.
Multi-locations.
But we try to kind of stick into the 100-mile radius of Greater Philadelphia. That's our sweet spot.
So you like to do the face-to-face installs? You don't just provision and mail?
No, I like to do we want to put them in. We want to train it. That's paramount. Really sitting down and making sure that everybody's comfortable. And there's no time limit. That's the biggest thing. We say, hey, there's no rush. If we have to come back day 2, we need to do virtual sessions, or even as new employees come on board, we want to make sure those employees at least get some FaceTime with us, meet us, know us, and have a resource to reach out to if there ever is issues. And likewise, even in the sales process, I like to go out and meet customers. I know we're in the technology world where we can do these quick calls. I think it goes a long way by sitting down, talking to somebody, looking them in the eye, shaking their hand. I think that helps kind of solidify us.
You just said it when you sat down here, that you love being in this gathering because you're getting to see face to face the people we've been emailing for years now, right? So there's a lot to be said for that.
There is, I agree.
I don't want the interactions to go away. I don't want to just sit in my house and, what was that movie? Somebody was like, they would lay in a pod thing and put on like virtual reality glasses. Remember, they live their life in that little pod. I don't want to do that.
No, me either. Yeah.
So let's say that somebody's watching this right now and they're like, oh, I like that guy. I'm on the same wavelength there. And they want to engage you. How do they do that?
So the easiest way is check out our website. There's a lot of good information there.
TurnDial.com?
Turn-dial.com. Turn-dial.com.
Somebody beat you to it.
Somebody beat us to it. Well, nobody beat us to it when we were getting started. We're like, it's an expensive website, so we came from a hyphen. And we're like, we like the hyphen. It's kind of got a cool.
Oh, God. Okay, I like that.
Or they can, our main number. We're a phone company, so we have to use our phones. It's 484-655-1060.
I like it. Memorable. That works. Okay, so Michael Nelson from TurnDial, if you want to reach him, he just told you how to do it. So anyway, it was so nice of you to sit down and take time. It was
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
And I hope you enjoyed the rest of the show.
Thank you very much.